Yeah, I think we're ready to go.
Hi, I'm here with Pascal. I'm Sola, I'm 25, I'm biracial, bisexual. Oh yeah, my pronouns are she, her, or they, them. And we're gonna talk about love.
So me and Shala are going to start a little conversation about being BIPOC and growing up or coming into a society that is majority white. So Shala, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, I was born on the Canary Islands, then I lived in the UK, moved around London for a bit, and then we moved to Germany. I think most of us who are in any way not very average looking in terms of in terms of skin color or whatever, we get the question, where are you from, like really from? And I don't know, I think I've grown into different responses to that, because a lot of the time when I feel like the person might be, a tad racist, I like to just revert to where I grew up most of the time, which is a tiny, unimportant village, but in Germany. So it's like, okay, how did that happen? And I like not explaining that. Yeah, so I was always just not from here. Doesn't matter where I am, I'm not from there. Doesn't matter if I was born there, doesn't matter if I've lived there most of my life, I'm from nowhere, technically, I guess.
Yeah, I can identify with that very much.
I ended up in a situation where obviously I have no control over how I look, or to whom people think I'm related, or always being foreign. So I kind of accepted quite early on that I was always going to be different, and yeah, this is the result of that.
Seeing this slight, I'm going to say, disconnect with the society, how did you feel about, like, when you started having emotional feelings or attachments to other humans?
I don't know, I think because I grew up with a single mum, and she was, as far as I knew, I mean, now I'm finding out that she had like hers in different area codes, but yeah, I kind of didn't have like a romantic relationship to kind of aspire to or whatever growing up. It was kind of never that relevant. I was figured, I might like fall in love or whatever, but I've never been a person who strives for a relationship no matter what. Like, that's something that can happen, but
It wasn't your goal.
It's not a priority or anything. When I was in a relationship, and people would always be like, oh, how's it being in an interracial relationship? Like, I don't know, because I don't know what it would be like not being in one. I mean, especially where I grew up, everyone around me was white. So I would have had to really put effort into finding someone else who was also biracial, because otherwise, again, I'm in an interracial relationship. Because I was watching a show, they talk about this on Grownish, in case you were wondering, when they're like, one of the black girls says to her friends that she wants to date a black guy because she doesn't want to have to explain the black experience to her partner over and over again. And I get that, but I don't think there are that many people with like my experience anyway, because I mean, I'm not saying I'm unique, obviously.
I mean, everyone is.
Yeah, but also
it's not...
we have a not that dissimilar experience around that. But still, you're always going to have to, like, everyone can only ever see things from their point of view. So you're always going to end up explaining, because, I mean, we can't leave our own point of view. We're not ever going to be completely objective about life. I'm only going to, like, date white girls or black dudes or, I don't know, non-binary Asian people.
Why do they have to be Asian?
Because I was looking for another like black white.
Back in the day when people could date.
Yeah.
What are like some of the weirdest experiences you have had?
I know, like Tash and Joe have talked about this, but yeah, the hypersexualization of this is a body type, especially because recently it's become more in to have like a kind of the big bum, big boobs. I don't have a tiny waist, but I have a waist. I mean, yeah, obviously some people just want to check something off their list. But because I was never like looking for much, like that sounds like I'm really selling myself short. No, I wasn't.
Actively pursuing.
Yeah, I wasn't actively pursuing. I don't often actively pursue people, and honestly, in the moments where I feel like, okay, this is just someone looking for like that box, if I'm into them and it's just like a whatever physical thing, then I don't care that much, because obviously I'm only using them for their physical attributes mostly as well.
Do you find yourself sharing a lot of experiences they haven't had?
I find myself getting asked that by people a lot, because especially obviously recently with Black Lives Matter becoming more prevalent again, which is an amazing thing. But I think sometimes people don't understand that I still live in the same society they do. Obviously I'm going to have different experiences, but like racism in Germany is very different from racism in the States, which is where the focus was very much, and rightfully so. It's a completely different kind of level. I think in Germany it's more of a, you don't belong here, what are you doing here? You're not even going to get like the interview, you're not even going to get invited to look at the flat or whatever just based on your surname, which obviously happens everywhere, but I think it's more of a unsaid thing, and also I'm very white passing.
Have you ever been surprised by love?
Yeah. I think it's not as fun when it's not surprising, is it?
Is love an action, and if so, why?
I think quite often it should be. Like you should do it actively and not just, this is something that's happening to me and taking over my life. It should be something where you're like, okay, I want to show this person love. I want to be in love with them, or any kind of love. Obviously, I want to like do something nice for my mother. I want to, but also it should have a certain nounness to it that it's just, you can rely on it a little bit.
Do you believe in true love?
Yeah, I don't think it always has to be a person. I don't think it always has to be forever even. I mean, passion towards like the things you do, that is a love that is for a lot of us probably or hopefully going to be more constant than maybe a partnership can be.
Have you been in love?
Yes.
Is there anything more important than love?
It depends if you just mean romantic love, because yeah, I think self-love is more important. I don't think you can really, not trying to quote RuPaul here, but I don't think you can really love someone if you haven't fully accepted yourself. I'm not saying that you have to be in perfect unison with yourself. I think that's pretty much a thing that goes on throughout life, but yeah, you have to be kind of you have to be on speaking terms with yourself to be able to truly love someone else.
What does love feel like to you?
Excitement, warmth, passion, a certain sense of security, not like taking someone for granted, but not feeling like they would just like murder you.
Thank you very much for having this conversation and giving us an insight of your love and dating life and within your biracial being.
You're welcome. No worries. If you didn't hate this, check out our wonderful holiday special, which don't ignore that it's a holiday special. Also, just watch the other videos of other people talking about love and intersectionality, and follow our Instagram and watch all these spaces. Bye.
Bye.
Oh God. I have a tendency to talk too much anyway, so probably I've...
I know, I'm like, oh shit, we talked about so many different...
Yeah, and hardly anything was love, but that's me.